There are two very important lessons that you learn in piracy. The first lesson is no matter how many eyes you have, because as you know, there are some pirates out there who only have one eye and they wear eye patches. You keep one eye in front and then the other eye watching over your shoulder. That's lesson number one. Lesson number two, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Now I learned this lesson the hard way with my first mate, a man by the name of Oscar Andrews. Now Oscar Andrews was actually a captain aboard his own pirate ship. And it was one day that he and his crew were attacking a military ship. And the plan was they were going to attack it, take it over, and make it their flagship. From the other direction, there came another pirate ship in the area. And who was the captain of that ship? But me. So we both attacked the ship at the same time, but then realized this is a little bit odd. This has never happened before. But oftentimes, it's good to team up to get tasks done. Am I right? So we agreed to work together and attack and pillage the other ship. Makes sense, right? So we did so. We took the ship over and we made it our flagship. And we all celebrated right there on the deck of the ship. But the celebration was short-lived. As you see, both Andrews and myself, each one of us wanted to be the captain. So the battle then turned to each other. And I defeated Andrews right there. And I was named the new captain. And I agreed to keep Andrews on as my first mate. Now old Andrews oftentimes will try to retake the captain's position, but he's been unsuccessful thus far. Although one day he succeeded, almost. He got the crew together, and they all mutinied against me. And they took me and shackled me up in chains, and they placed me in a lifeboat. But this lifeboat had no supplies or provisions in it. The plan was that with no supplies in the lifeboat and me shackled up, unable to move, they would take me, set me adrift in the sea, and in the lack of food and water or rum didn't play out. All the little sea creatures in the ocean or the hot sun burning my body will be enough to send me to the Dutchman. Now Captain Andrews, as he commissioned himself, arrived at Portagotor 3 days later. Now Portagotor is a somewhat safe haven for pirates. Now, here the crew were celebrating the night away. Let me start off too by also saying that Portagotor was actually set up by a former pirate captain, now retired, named Gentleman Jason Williams. And he started Portagotor to be a safe haven for us pirates. And the crew, Oscar Andrews and his crew, was celebrating the night away in Williams' Tavern Inn. And then who should suddenly show up at port but me? And all the music stopped. And I looked Andrews right in the eyes. And I said to him, "So, you thought you could leave me tied to that lifeboat and leave me to sail on to the Dutchman?" And he dropped to his knees and he begged for forgiveness. But I looked him right in the eye, and he beckoned me, stepped towards him even further, and I said, "I didn't think you had it in you!" And with that, I joined in the celebration, and I retook the captain's position, and we all had a great time except Oscar Andrews. But I agreed to spare Andrew's life and demoted him back down to first mate. A lot of people question why I did that. But it's because, remember the other rule I told you? You keep your friends close and your enemies closer, mates. Well as these wonderful